Folks, Why Would You Ask That is a podcast that answers some of the weirdest questions. A lot of those are inappropriate for some listeners. If you're squeamish, easily disturbed, or just having a bad day, this may not be for you. But if you've got to know the answers like we do, stay tuned.
Why Would You Ask That? Hosted by me, M, they, them, and
Karen, she, her, and
Remy, he, they.
And today, we've got a current event for you. Did you know that there's a fucking glitter conspiracy? Because I just found out about this shit. Karen actually walked up to me with it and said, like, look at this. And I was like, what the hell is this shit? And then we dropped it on Remy, and he went, oh my god. And we went,
we gotta talk about this.
yeah! And you know what? He's fucking right, because what the hell?
Wait, I can do my Remy. We have to talk about this.
Is that what I sound like?
No. I'm not very good at doing you, but
there's some things you're good at hitting with Remy, but that one was not as good
that
as
one was
usual.
Weak. We need to talk about this.
I think it's because we're watching you.
It must be.
I didn't know you were impersonating me.
Oh, I impersonate everyone.
I ask for it all the time. Yeah, so what actually forms the basis of the glitter conspiracy here? Like, what is going on with the glitter?
I feel like we should start with a credit to the original conspiracy theory video. Everyone should go watch it and then come back, is what I recommend.
Oh yeah, do you have her name?
I have it written down.
You have it written down? Awesome.
So, over on TikTok, the video that Karen sent to me was by somebody whose screen name was Maxed Out Mommy, and I'll put it on our resource page. And so she's the one who I saw the video from, but it's literally all over TikTok right now. She just made a PowerPoint and very succinctly talked about the points of what like everybody's talking about at the moment. And so go watch that video if you want it like all broken down in PowerPoint fashion.
She makes it very engaging.
Yeah, I was super extreme.
It's everywhere though, so you could literally just hashtag glitter conspiracy on TikTok, and something will come up. A lot of somethings will come up.
It's everywhere right now.
It is. It's literally it's everywhere. So what she is drawing from is from a New York Times article that was published in 2018. So the original glitter conspiracy started in 2018 with that article. And then it sort of died off for a while, and now it's come back for some reason. Maybe because somebody discovered that article.
It's been refreshed. Well, isn't glitter at a low right now? Isn't that why?
So I did see when researching the initial article that back in 2018, people were saying that we had a glitter shortage. So I think this came up in 2018 initially. But while I was researching this right now, the articles that I was reading for 2022 said that there's no evidence that there is a glitter shortage.
That's what they want you to think.
Or that there was in 2018, yes.
They're in the media, man.
So first, what is glitter? Do you know?
I know that it is aluminium.
Yeah.
And a few other things. I did know it for a day after I watched the video. And then, more important things took place in my brain.
Yes. The New York Times article says glitter is made of other glitter. And that's accurate. Glitter is just made of other glitter. Little glitter is made of big glitter. And glitter in general is made of aluminum and plastic. And some of it is made of metal and glass.
Oh.
Yep.
So it's made of metal. So, okay, wait. Some of it is made...
Some glitter is made from metal that isn't aluminum and glass, yes.
So like steel.
I don't know steel specifically, but just some other type of fine metal and glass. But not craft and cosmetic glitter isn't made with glass.
No, craft and cosmetic glitter is the...
Yeah, aluminum. Yeah. I don't know what glitter is made of metal and glass. I didn't look too far into that kind because that kind isn't even the kind we're talking about. We're talking about the aluminum and plastic kind.
That's kind of the big thing between people is like a lot of people think that it's boats and automobiles, and I'm like, no, 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 no. We're talking about craft glitter. They're not using craft glitter on cars and automobiles. I'm sorry, it's not happening. But I don't know. What authority do I have?
You sounded so certain I was ready to believe you. But you do this shit to me all the time. You're like, you just say something and I'm like, oh man, Karen's got the facts out here. And then you're like, oh, but I don't know. And I'm like, Karen, you betrayed my trust.
I'm so sorry. I take everyone for a ride. Ugh. So, sorry, Remy.
I did learn in the course of doing all of this reading that glitter used in crafts and other things and cosmetic glitter comes in, like, are made in different shapes than each other. I think I just always assumed they were cut the same way as each other, but just at different grains, but they're not. Cosmetic glitter is cut differently than other glitter. And that seems really like it would, that makes sense and it seems common sense, but I didn't realize.
No, it's not really something you think about.
Nope. I also don't use cosmetics and never have, so I really have never encountered any.
God, I'm too focused. I get too into it. It ends up taking like an hour or two. But it's a fun thing to do on vacation.
It was very charming to watch you do your makeup.
So modern glitter was invented in 1934 in New Jersey by an American cattle rancher / machinist named Harry Rushman. He's German. He was designing a machine, or he designed a machine that was like a combination of a paper shredder and a wood chipper that was able to grind plastic into glitter. He came upon this process because he was grinding up trash and he realized that some of his trash was shinier and sparklier than other trash.
Oh?
Yep. But because glitter is so new, it's really very definable as something tangible. As the New York Times article explained, the Oxford English Dictionary mostly lists definitions for the sparkle and reflection of light, which is what glittering is. As a product, glitter made it to the masses in the 40s. The New York Times first talked about glitter in 1942. They said that New York City residents would be getting pictures of evergreen boughs to put in their windows, and that they would be extra sparkly this year, that it would offer, quote, additional scintillation if, quote, sprinkled with dime store glitter or mica, because they were replacing Christmas candles with those this year because of not wanting to alert like the Germans of where the boats were out in the harbor, and all the lights from the candles and stuff was putting the boats in silhouette out on the water.
Oh.
Yeah. So they were using glitter to make things look shiny. Now we use it all the time for everything, which is the point. Which is the point of why this is a conspiracy. Because nobody knows what all it's being used in. Yes. I love glitter too. At Michael's, you can buy these little, the craft store, you can buy these little carts for like $20 that have 3 shelves and they roll. And I record in the same place where I make dice. And I have one of those little carts and it's totally full of glitter in one, like for the most part, or things that have glittery stuff in them. I have so much glitter. Like sometimes I get glitter for free when I'm buying other things. Like this little thing that I just shook is a package of glitter that has 1, 2, 3, 4. That has 12 tiny packages of glitter in it.
Oh, fuck
That I got that for free when I had bought something else that wasn't glitter related. People just, which is why we don't have a glitter shortage. I have so much glitter.
I'm like, even when we die, there will be glitter.
There will be. It doesn't biodegrade.
Even after everything that happens, the red death of the universe.
Shiny as fuck.
There are 2 glitter manufacturers in the U.S. Both of them are in New Jersey, where glitter was invented on that ranch. So the first company yes, is Meadowbrook Inventions Glitter, which is the original manufacturer of glitter. That one of their buildings is on the place where the glitter was invented. They refused to talk to the New York Times in 2018. They said, "We are a very private company," and they wouldn't
Damn,
talk,
bro.
which
Damn.
is weird.
Yeah.
Glitter, man.
Yeah, it's glitter. Quit it. So I looked on their website. They say about themselves, quote, Meadowbrook Inventions manufactures glitter for every type of application imaginable, including industrial, paints, coatings, cosmetics, plastics, solvents, adhesives, printing inks, flock, aerosol, textiles, fashion, floral, crafts, and more, end quote.
They have a diverse market.
Yes. But nowhere on their website can you find anything specific, like no specific products do they put on their website, except for something called Angelina fibers, which are like really shiny, very tiny dental floss, thinner than dental floss fibers that you can buy, which I have actually looked at buying before I ever thought about doing this with you guys,
Oh,
because you can put them inside of dice and they're really shiny and they look really cool. They're like a rainbowy iridescent color.
shut up and take my money. So they make all sorts of glitter.
Yeah. And the second manufacturer is Glitterex.
Real careful.
Yeah. They were founded in 1963. Glitterex uses their glitter in the things that are listed on their website: glue, arts and crafts stuff, gift cards and wrap, cosmetics and fashion, fiberglass and gel coats, parentheses, boats, ski mobiles, motorcycles, hot tubs, bicycle helmets, etc., floral stuff, inks and paints, ornaments and decorations, thermoplastics, and toys. Those are all of the things that are listed on their website out in the open in little tabs you can click on. Yeah, those people did talk to the reporter from the New York Times, Katie Weaver. They said that they would talk to her. Initially, the CEO of GlitterX, Babu Shetty, he said no, that she was not allowed to come. They would talk on the phone. He told her he didn't want her to come to the factory at all, and that even when he said that she could come, quote, that he would, quote, not allow me to see glitter being made, that he would not allow me to hear glitter being made, that I could not even be in the same wing of the building as the room in which glitter was being made under any circumstance, end quote.
What the fuck?
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
a psychopath,
You have to protect your product, all right?
it's glitter. This is monopolies. Let the power to the people.
What is bizarre to me is that we know exactly how glitter is made and how to make glitter, so it's not as though her seeing the glitter would key her into some kind of weird trade secret to how to make glitter.
Oh my god,
Glitter
these
is made.
people and their glitter.
Glitter is made by cutting up the glitter. Glitter is the thing that it is, and you cut the glitter up into tiny little pieces. And as a matter of fact, the majority of the Times article is him exactly describing to her the process by which they make the glitter. I read the whole thing. It's very long, and most of it is him telling her that the process is complicated and then going into very long detailed tangents about how you do it. Like right down to him explaining to her how you put the aluminum onto the plastic to make it shiny.
Oh my god, he has illegal
So it
children. I realized in the middle of it that if I said illegal aliens, that already had a meaning, and it didn't mean like aliens from outer space. This is how we live. Anyway. I hate language.
yeah, you meant aliens.
Like space aliens.
Ah, space aliens. Yes.
Do either of you watch American Horror Story? Probably not, because Karen doesn't like scary things too much.
I mean, I read the plot of the first season and a little bit of the second season, but I have never seen it.
I watched the whole first season.
The first season is the one that is the only one that takes place in anything. Well, I don't know. One of them takes place in a mental hospital, and that one takes place under incredibly realistic circumstances, except for the fact that there are aliens in that season. Because they're basing the plot of that season off of a real event that happened where a reporter for, I think, the New York Times, pretended to be a crazy, an insane woman so that she would get locked up into one of the most nefarious mental hospitals in the area so that she could report on the conditions inside of it.
Isn't
and then
that
got trapped in there for a long chunk of time.
10 Days in a Madhouse?
Yeah. So the plot of season 3 of American Horror Story is that, and it is disturbing. But other than that one, the rest of them get progressively more just ludicrous and less triggering because they get so far away from what could realistically happen with anything. So
yeah,
this made me think of this because I was watching last year's season, and for half of it was vampires and the other half is aliens. And in this second half of the season, they were talking about how the president made some sort of treaty with the aliens where they could abduct. This was Dwight Eisenhower in the 50s. And they could abduct 5,000 American citizens a year. And in exchange, we got to have alien technology.
Oh,
and
that's a plot of SG-1.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Ryan Murphy just stealing stuff. And so in one of the episodes, they're Dwight's wife is like, look at this TV dinner. Doesn't it look so good? It took me 30 seconds to make it in the microwave. I was a little nervous to eat things that was made using their technology, but it looks really good. And I was like, haha, so the microwave is alien technology, huh?
The microwave is alien technology. It's in our food, man.
So this just made me think of that because I was like, glitter, alien technology. And then one of them was like, if you took somebody from the medieval times and put them into 1915, they would adapt really quickly. But if you took somebody from the 1970s and put them into 2020, they would have their mind blown because our technology has advanced so quickly since the 1970s. And the explanation is because aliens are giving us tons of technology.
Oh, of course.
So Weaver described walking into the building as entering a sort of beige, unassuming building to see a very glittery display case filled with items that, quote, I agreed to not describe even vaguely, end quote.
Okay.
This is psychotic.
Yes. Now, I was doing a lot of reading, and then literally an hour ago, I did find an article that described to me some things that were inside of that case, and it was nothing remotely unusual. It described it as a bike helmet, a Star Wars toy, and things like that.
Really innocuous things that you would expect glitter to be in.
Yeah, nothing unusual at all. There's a good deal, like I said, there's a good deal of the article dedicated to her just learning how to make glitter sparkle, where he just talks about how they put aluminum onto the flakes of glitter. He describes the clear glitter as looking like pieces of a cut up jellyfish.
Well, that's certainly some way to describe something.
Yeah, it was a very bizarre way to go about talking about things.
I mean, I can't really because for me that's pot and kettle,
That's true.
Just saying. So I can't really it's such a weird way, but it is kind of strange to be like that. But then again, I'm like, what if the dog is edible? So
It's true.
I think as long as you acknowledge that you're being weird, you can call other people weird.
Fair enough. Weird.
Because talking to a stranger who is reporting on your company and waving something in her face and saying, if you cut this up, it would look like a cut up jellyfish, I think that's a little weird.
It's kind of strange.
Because I hold my weirdness in for several meetings before I just let it loose on people.
I mean,
you can't just pop out at them with if this looks like cut up jellyfish. You gotta at least talk to them a little bit longer than that.
If you're trying to, put the keep an image up, that guy's a little weird. You don't arouse Suspicion.
So he talked about how they put the aluminum onto the glitter by putting the aluminum into some sort of like big heat source and then evaporating the aluminum and then blasting it onto the glitter bits. And she said, "What are you evaporating out of the aluminum?" And he said, "The aluminum."
No.
Supposedly, he has like a PhD of some variety. Yeah, his PhD is in polymer science and engineering.
Or maybe he's just fucking weird. It's very easy to just be fucking weird. I gotta say.
I know a lot of PhDs and MDs, and they are,
It's true. I know a lot of MDs who are very weird.
People are just exceptionally strange. And you're like, oh, buddy.
So he says they evaporate aluminum and deposit it on it. And she says, "How could aluminum be evaporated?" He said, "It's a very, very thin layer. They put it in a vacuum chamber, then evaporate the aluminum with heat." And she says, "What are they evaporating out of it?" And he says, "Aluminum." And then they just moved on from the process, from talking about this process to talking about a different part of the process. And then she spends some time talking about that time that Newt Gingrich got a bunch of glitter thrown on him during a protest.
oh, fun. He deserves it.
So yes, there's a good deal of the article that is just that. But she did learn also two additional uses for glitter that wasn't in the list that I had already gone through from GlitterX, the actual website, and those are that researchers and zookeepers sometimes mix glitter in with animal feed to track animals via their poop.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Weird, but it makes sense.
And because glitter is difficult to remove completely from an area in which it has been introduced, and because individual varieties can be distinguished under a microscope, it can serve as a useful crime scene evidence. Years ago, the FBI contacted GlitterX to catalog samples of its products, apparently.
Yeah. I had seen that. I got excited about that because I was like, oh.
I did see an article come up called "What Does Glitter Have to Do with Forensic Science?" But I saw it like 45 minutes ago, and I was like, I don't have time to read this.
Someday.
Someday.
Yeah, that article was about how glitter helps somebody solve a crime, and I was like, no, that's not relevant to what we're talking about.
How is it not?
Because we know it's being used by forensics. We're talking about things it might be used in that's trying to be kept a secret. So
He's right, everyone.
So Weaver asked why was there so much oppressive secrecy, and Shetty said that the clients require it and that he's not the one who requires it, but their clients require the secrecy to keep their competitors from knowing what glitters are being used in what products, because the glitters are different from each other. All glitter is not the same kind of glitter. They're cut differently and they look different and they're like different thicknesses and stuff when you look at them under a microscope. So according to the CEO, the different clients just want to be kept secret so that their competitors won't know what kind of glitter they're using.
That makes sense. I don't like it, but it makes sense.
It does. So the glitter conspiracy stuff started not from like the understandable client confidentiality of what glitter is going into what products, but like of not being allowed to even know who is using glitter at all. Because thus far, only, even since 2018, only just the one client has been like come forward and been like, okay, you can know that we're using glitter, and that's Revlon.
I mean, I would figure, you would think, God, like, duh, makeup has glitter in it. What? That doesn't help me at all.
Yeah, and that's the point, is that it's weird that they won't let you even know who the clients are, is why people are weird about it.
Rightfully so. I just want to know. I just want to know who uses the most glitter. Who
uses?
I need answers.
I have some answers.
Fuck.
Okay, so Weaver was shown around in the area she was allowed to be in by someone named Lauren Dyer. And so here's like a quote from the article that comes up in at least that one TikTok video that you showed me by that one lady, Maxed Out Mommy. So the quote that she used that is like the big deal that made people be like, what is this about? Was this quote: "When I asked Miss Dyer if she could tell me which industry served as GlitterX's biggest market, her answer was instant. No, I absolutely know that I can't. I was taken aback. But you know what it is? Oh God, yes, she said and laughed. And you would never guess it. Let's just leave it at that. I asked if she could tell me why she couldn't tell me. because they don't want anyone to know that it's glitter. If I looked at it, I wouldn't know it was glitter. No, not really. Would I be able to see the glitter? You'd be able to see something, but I can't. I asked if she would tell me off the record. She would not. I asked if she would tell me off the record after this piece was published, and she would not. End quote.
Damn.
Dedication. What if she was just fucking with everybody? Complete possibility, right?
Yeah.
The biggest theories that were on Reddit then, and that are still on Reddit now, revolve around boat paint, sand, and toothpaste.
That makes sense.
I feel like those are all pretty well covered, though.
Yeah, my first thoughts were that it couldn't be boat paint because GlitterX lists boat paint as a product that they make. Toothpaste had to be out because Crest already admitted that they use glitter and plastic in their toothpastes, and they did that years ago. Sand, that one's interesting a little bit because the Earth is running out of sand.
What?
If you didn't know, the Earth is running out of sand.
No.
Yes.
Well,
Because it takes thousands and thousands of years to make new sand. And we erode sand to like make new housing complexes and resorts and things like that. And so we're getting rid of sand faster than the earth can make sand. We also use sand to make glass.
Love glass. Ask anyone. Listen, lots of people like gold. A lot of more people who have glass. Just saying. You know what we should do? We should call, bringing the sand from Tatooine to here.
So you're saying we need to bring the Sand Planet in?
Yeah, we need, like, listen, who would be the one person who wants to get rid of all the sand on Tatooine? Anakin
Yeah.
Skywalker!
Yeah.
He'd be like,
Yeah.
you need sand? Take it! And then he pulls out bucket sand.
You want sand? Take it.
Ugh.
Drops his trousers, scrapes it out from between his butt cheeks. He's got it everywhere. You started it.
I did. I'm
Stop,
sorry.
she says.
Okay.
So since you didn't know, yeah, concrete is made with sand. Like we use concrete to construct shopping malls, offices, apartment blocks, and asphalt that we use in our roads and stuff. Both of those things are made with sand as one of the ingredients. Glass, like I said, windows, windshields, smartphone screens, that's sand. Silicone chips in our phones and computers and any other electronic thing that you have, also made using sand. We can literally just buy bags of sand in the store right now for not even very much. And then we erode the sand off the beaches to build our resorts and things. So that's happening. So we're running out of sand because the process to make sand is a long, long time.
Why can't we make our own sand?
Glitter is.
Oh, so like Earth got mad and was like, I need a way to keep all this fucking sand. And so it was like, I know, I'll invent humans, and humans will just make sand that cannot be destroyed.
Wow. So I knew that we had like a sand shortage, but I didn't know before I was researching this stuff with the glitter that sand is the most consumed natural resource behind water.
Wow, I'm drinking water right now.
Yeah, people apparently use 50 billion tons of it.
Damn, bro.
It every year, and it says that's more than enough to blanket the entire United Kingdom.
Wow, I've never even been there. I didn't know I could tuck it in.
And the things that I was reading said that you would think this wouldn't be a problem because we've got like deserts and deserts of the stuff, right? But we don't use desert sand for the things that we do. We use sand that we harvest, like to make concrete and stuff. We don't use the desert sand because it's the wrong grain and shape.
That's picky.
It's because desert sand is a lot more eroded by the wind, so it's like really smooth and round, and so it doesn't lock together to form like a stable mesh like we need it to do when we make concrete and things. But the sand that's eroded by water is like more like prickly, I guess. So we get our sand from like the beds and banks and floodplains of rivers and lakes and the seashore. The article from the BBC that I was looking at says that we are demanding so much sand per year that they are taking all the sand off of beaches in some places, and farmlands and forests in some places are being torn up to be able to get to the sand that is there.
What the fuck?
And that in some places there are criminal gangs that have formed around the black market for sand.
What the fuck?
This has turned into the sand conspiracy.
Yeah, this is our side issue tangent of this episode. We can never have an episode that has a singular plot line. We always have to have a side thing, and this is the side thing of this episode.
You just surprise us every time. Christ alive. How do we reduce our sand consumption? Because now I'm like, damn, bro. We just stop building things.
We need to stop having so many babies, maybe. The urban population has quadrupled since the 1950s. It's just gone up so much. And the United Nations predicted that it will go up another 2.5 billion in the next 3 decades. So it said, the BBC says that it's the equivalent of adding 8 cities the size of New York every single year. Yeah, it said that getting the sand to build all the buildings, to house all those people, and make all the roads, to put them all together would require an enormous quantity of sand. And in India alone, the amount of sand used in construction has tripled since just 2000. And that in China, the amount of sand that they have used in just this decade is likely more than the United States has used in the entire 20th century.
Jesus.
China's kind of big, though.
Yes.
A rapidly industrializing country.
In some places, like in California and Hong Kong, we're vacuuming in tons and tons of sand from the seafloor every year to pile it up in coastal areas to create land where there wasn't any land so that we can do stuff with that land.
Fuck.
What the hell, man?
Yeah. So doing that, ocean dredging to get that sand has damaged our ocean's coral reefs near Kenya, the Persian Gulf, and Florida. It's destroyed marine habitat and muddied water with sand plumes that has affected aquatic life, far from the sites where they had taken the sand. And fishermen in Malaysia and Cambodia said that their entire livelihoods have been destroyed by ocean dredging.
Holy shit.
Singapore has done so much sand importing and environmental damage because of their sand consumption that the neighboring countries have restricted exports of sand to Singapore. The sand problem is bad.
I had no fucking clue.
Yeah. Sand is an issue.
Sand is a huge issue. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I was reading that our stealing of river sand is very slowly making the Mekong Delta in Vietnam disappear. That area is home to 20 million people and the source of half of all the country's food and much of the rice for all of Southeast Asia.
Leave them alone. They have suffered enough.
Yeah. The Worldwide Fund for Nature says that at the rate that we're taking sand, not we, this country specifically, everybody that's taking the sand, at the rate the sand is being taken out of that area, they think that half the delta will be gone by the end of this century. It's rough out there.
Sand pun.
And then there are sand mines that use really horrible enslaved sort of conditions for the people who work in them in Latin America and Africa. That's bad also. But that might be even too dark to talk about. And also in the article from the BBC talked about sand mafias.
Serious?
Yeah, in India.
It's not funny.
Why is it that we keep finding new mafias when we do this show? I'm sitting here I was perfectly happy with the one mafia. And
Listen,
then,
the psychic mafia is small scale compared to the sand mafia, all right? I bring small time.
I have an inappropriate laughter response. The sand mafia is no joke.
Yeah, y'all, it just sounds funny because mafia it's not a word that is related to sand in any way. Sand mob.
So for sand, Scientists are already working on ways to fix the sand problem by replacing sand in our construction materials with other things like something called fly ash, which is material left over by coal-fired power stations, shredded plastic, which is its own problem, but still, crushed oil palm shells and rice husks. Others are trying to develop concrete that just doesn't use as much sand, and researchers are looking at more effective ways to grind down and recycle concrete in general.
This is why they were trying to come up with the self-healing concrete too, huh?
Yeah, people are trying to find a lot of ways to try to combat these kinds of issues with just better practices in general, which is really what needs to be happening. Better practices in general. In a lot of Western countries, river sand mining is being phased out, just to bring the nice thing to the end of this. So,
Fuck.
getting the rest of the world to stop, like, getting the sand out of their rivers is going to be, like, a problem of its own variety, but at least in this part of the world and the Western countries, we're starting to not do that anymore. Not get sand out of the rivers, and we're just doing other things now. We're trying to do other things and find better solutions instead of using sand and instead of getting it out of our rivers and things and destroying all of our waterways. So for beach sand, which is the theory with the glitter stuff, for beach sand, we can make new beach sand, and we do that by grinding up gravel and concrete into really tiny, fine, powdery stuff and putting it on the beach. And concrete is used making sand, so we're sort of just putting the sand back where it belongs when we do that. And the theory for the sand was that people put glitter in the fake sand to make it look shiny, like sand looks anyway. I can't combat that because I have no idea. I couldn't find anything saying that people are doing that or aren't doing that. Maybe some places are doing that.
I mean, it's not ideal, obviously.
I meant the thing with putting the glitter in it. I don't know if people are putting glitter in it. We already can make fake sand doing those things, and we do replace sand with fake sand. But I don't know if people are putting glitter in it.
I would hope not.
Well, your name is Karen to start.
Very funny.
Thank you. So we're thinking sand.
Okay, so what are your theories about the biggest purchaser of glitter that GlitterX won't tell us about? Because it's not toothpaste, and it's not boat paint, apparently. This is where I started out. Not boat paint, not toothpaste. That's where I started from, and that I can't confirm or deny that somebody's putting it on beaches somewhere. So what do you think, either one of you? And then I'll talk about what I found.
If it's not beach sand, food, some kind of food item, and I'm willing to bet that it's some kind of supplement or animal food.
I'm trying to think about all of the things that I see around that day.
And that you would look at it and according to Lauren Dyer, wouldn't realize it was glitter if you were looking at it.
Kleenex?
Salt?
Salt does look really sparkly, but I bet that's something to do with the mineral itself.
And salt does have a taste. I feel like I would taste if I flavored something with aluminum.
Do you want to try? I have like a bunch of glitter here. Do you want to try to eat some?
Oh, that's okay.
Alright, what did you find, Remy?
Condoms.
Condoms?
How many condoms have you seen in your life?
The first thought that I had was rubber balls. Like like not beach balls, but those are very specific, and I don't think they make them all that much. I don't know. Chocolate? Or, my favorite theory.
Mm-hmm.
Skittles.
Mm.
Yeah, I saw someone say that, and I was like, oh, it's part of the candy coating for Skittles.
I thought part of the candy coating was just like shellac or some shit like that.
Em, do you have any more thoughts about this?
I just think we're eating it.
What are we eating it in, though, that's not Skittles?
Fucking Twinkies? I don't know.
Are Twinkies popular still?
I don't know. I don't eat them myself.
I've never liked Twinkies, so I don't even know.
I'm not really a fan either. I feel like they're kind of oily.
I googled if they were still popular, and it just says, how nostalgia has saved Hostess Twinkies.
I mean, it was stupid popular at some point, especially during the zombie era of pop culture.
So, Remy, what did you find? Contenders for the biggest glitter users in the world, or America at least.
So, here's what I found out. While I was scrolling around, I found there was a guy named Joe Coburn who did a Ask Me Anything over on Reddit that said, "I am a glitter manufacturer, ask me anything." And if you recall our very first episode, I read through an Ask Me Anything from the guy who wrote that one nasty cookbook that was like 450 answers long. So I'm not afraid of going into these things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he lives in Queens, in New York. His family owns a glitter business in Germany. So that's just to establish a baseline. The guy over here who made the glitter stuff originally was a German guy. So initially, as far as Joe was aware, his family was in the business of making reflective materials, but not glitter. But then he was sent to clean up some sort of failed business site, and then they found 2 glitter machines there, and this was in 1999. And so Joe's dad said that he didn't even have any idea where the machines had come from.
Christ.
Yeah. His dad said that he had never seen them. He didn't know what they were and like why they were there. He didn't know what was up. Apparently they were in a barn, I guess, from what I gather. And so they tried to sell them for like a lot of money. He said between like $150,000 to $200,000.
That's a lot.
And per machine, not for both of them.
That is a lot.
He said that somewhere in between those two numbers was what he was asking for, and that people were willing to pay it, largely without even coming to look at the machines. And like a lot of people wanted the machines. Once they started trying to sell them, a lot of people wanted to buy the machines.
Yeah.
He said that so many people wanted to buy it largely just because they wanted to take them apart and then learn how to build their own machines so that they could go and clone them on their own business and make them. And that Joe's dad would let them look at the machines, but only like through a window into the barn, and wouldn't let them get even close to them. Because if they got too close,
Everyone is like obsessed with keeping these. Maybe glitter is the alien technology. It's like got this like thing that makes whoever has ownership, whoever is attuned to it, is cursed to forever try and keep it a secret until, the glitter machine has sucked everything that it needs from its host, created all of the glitter that it can from the host, and then the host dies.
wow, that's what makes glitter so sparkly, huh? Human souls. This is funny. So, yeah, he wouldn't let them get even closer to them, but then through the window, because he didn't want them to try to like figure out how to make the machines without buying them.
My precious.
He sold one of the machines, and then he tore apart one of the machines, the dad did, so that he would know how to build the machines. And then when he sold the machine, they built their own machines so that they could start their own glitter company. And now they have 22 machines.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Yeah. So once their dad died in 2011, Joe and his brother started running the company. Since 2011, at some point, Joe stopped running the company and went off to do something else. But he said that he was 99% sure that he knew what the largest buyer of glitter was. He said. Now, I was like sure that he would have it, because certainly he would know. So he said that he had never bought anything from GlitterX, and he didn't know anybody who had bought anything from GlitterX. And when asked what he thought it was, he said he thought it was automotive paints. And I was like, it's not that. It's not automotive paints.
That's a pretty conventional answer.
It is a conventional answer. That's why it's not
Worst.
that.
Or is it? Is it that? Because now we're getting into the territory of the sort of thing that goes on with the Kennedy assassination. Everyone is like, it can't be that simple. It just can't. I'm not 100% convinced about Diana's being an accident, but I don't believe that there was a plot against Kennedy.
So some people from NPR interviewed him to ask him about his ideas about this, and he said that the reason that he thinks automotive paints is that they would use like a ton of glitter, and that they would want to be so much glitter that your automotive paints would basically have to be like 100% glitter, basically. So it would be one solid sheen of glitter with no space between the glitter, and stuff. And he was like, that's why cars look so good in the sunlight. And I was like, okay, but it's not automotive paint. For one thing, GlitterX already said that they do automotive paints on their website. I forgot to remind myself that this story was from 2018 initially. For two, car paints don't use glitter because they're already using something called chameleon paint, and that is a paint that shifts color when it moves in the light to like slightly different colors or sometimes drastically different colors. I've used them in my dice. You've seen it on my dice channel or in other dice if you are a listener and don't follow my dice channel. So with chameleon paint or pigments, you just like hold it, and when you shift it back and forth, it just changes colors. I have a bunch of them sitting literally right next to me in powder form, and then I have some in like I have 5 bottles of ink, like liquid ink that is in shifting pigment, also directly beside me. And when they talk to some people, these NPR guys, Ben and Amory, when they talk to some guys from the automotive industry, those guys said, we don't need glitter. We already have something else that they're calling effect pigments, which also shift in the light when the light hits it. They made those pigments using effects that they copied from insect colorations, and they come in big flakes. So those guys from NPR, they tracked down eventually a client from GlitterX who was like a small-time client, but that client went onto the inside of GlitterX, like an inside mole type person, and that client found out who the biggest client at GlitterX is.
Oh?
What they found out as far as the biggest client at GlitterX, it's stupid. And it's just like Karen just said. It's like, you want it to be something crazy. Like, people over on Reddit were talking about the military was using it in, like, bombs or whatever to, like, trace where they exploded. Or, like, several people were talking about the funeral industry for some reason, which doesn't make any sense to me as somebody who messes with dead bodies. Why would you even need it? Something about making corpses look more alive, I guess. These are weird things, and these sound like things you want to be true, right? I also thought probably it was a food of some variety. I was trying to think of foods that glitter would be in that I would be shocked to learn about. Okay, well, what these people learned was that the biggest client at GlitterX that was buying the glitter from that company was the boat industry.
The boat industry.
Yeah.
Yes, I was let down.
I mean, it does make sense.
I have been around boats. I have seen a boat. Boats are sparkly. You can look at a boat and you can see that it has glitter on it.
It's not in any way shocking and or surprising.
In no way can I look at a boat and not be aware that I am looking at glitter. So, I think you were the one who said that woman, Lauren Dyer, was just like messing with people. It has got to be that.
It really does. It just really feels like it, because once you just say, oh, I can't tell you, you know the internet's gonna explode. And then, like, being vague about it, like, oh, you'll know if you see it. It's a guessing game. There is no answer.
So, once they talked about, and for one thing, GlitterX says boats on its website. So, it's not like they're keeping boats a secret. Also, it's right there. It's on their website, right next to like jet skis and all that other stuff. It's fiberglass and stuff. It's right there. It says boats, so it's not like boats are a secret. Man, I was disappointed. I was like, boats.
Boats can be pretty big.
Ben and Amory of NPR talked to somebody named Brandon Pittman, a technical director and chemist for a company called HK Research Corporation, and that person makes polyester gel coats for the marine and fiberglass industry. And that guy, he says that GlitterX just doesn't want to reveal its clientele and just doesn't want you to know who their clients are. And I was like, yeah, I know. He said that initially, but like, it makes it sound so cryptic and weird when you say it the way that it was said. And he confirmed that the boating industry, like individually, each individual boat manufacturer, like he used to work at a bass boat manufacturer, and that individual one was using 10 30-gallon drums a week
That's a
of
lot.
glitter.
A
Yeah.
lot.
It's 300 gallons of glitter a week. Yes. It's so much. Yeah. And he said that they would just buy the glitter wholesale and then just mix the glitter into paint rather than buying glittery paint.
This is just ridiculous.
Yes. So now you know. Now TikTok could shut up about it.
Now we have to tell TikTok about sand. TikTok, stop talking about glitter. Glitter's on boats. We have to talk about sand. All right?
I'm gonna tell TikTok when I post our clip for this video. I'm gonna be like, TikTok, seriously, just listen to this episode. We will tell you where the glitter is going.
Yeah. Where's the glitter? We
Shut
know.
your ass! I'm sorry, but when you go to the fucking bathroom in the morning, you're just gonna explode a shit ton of glitter. A literal shit ton, because it's coming out of your ass. You are
Glitter
pooping
bomb.
out the glitter.
Wow.
Yeah. Glitter bomb.
You know, for a while, there was like capsules or something you could take where you could do that.
They do it for gold leaf as well.
That's terrible.
You could still do edible glitter for that too.
Yeah, edible glitter exists. You know, and since we talked about sustainability, you guys should just stop buying glitter and start buying biodegradable glitter, because that exists. Stop buying plastic glitter.
Yes.
I stopped buying plastic glitter a while ago. Like, I've got a lot of it still, but now I don't buy it anymore. Now you should buy biodegradable glitter, and also you should or if you just need it for crafts, you can buy ethically sourced mica powder, which is also sparkly.
Do your best to do good where you can. Maybe if we all just do the best that we can to be good how we can and when we can, it may not solve all the problems in the world, but, you know, you're at least doing your part, and that's okay.
Yeah, do your best. But thanks everybody for listening. We are very excited to take your questions too, because we want to hear them and we want to answer them, and we are so super qualified to answer questions. So what you can do is you could visit our website, which is whywouldyouskthat.com, and go to that little contact form, throw in a question, or you can email us at whywouldyouskthatpod@gmail.com. So please send us your questions. We don't care how weird it is, how gross it is. Just don't ask any personal questions. That's our one line. Ask your weird questions. That's what we want. So thank you for listening. This is M, Karen, and Remy, and ask us some shit. Thank you. Good night.